can talk about the Democrats. I do want to talk about Iraq because a Government Accountability Office draft report came out this week. General Petraeus will be coming back from Iraq within 10 days with another report. Here's the way the Washington Post described the most recent draft report from the GAO. A report finds little progress in Iraq goals. Drafted odds with White House. Iraq has failed to meet all but 3 of 18 congressionally mandated benchmarks for political and military progress, according to the draft GAO report. The document questions whether some aspects of a more positive assessment by the White House last month adequately reflected the range of views the GAO found within the administration. The strikingly negative GAO report comes as the White House prepares to deliver its own benchmark report in the second week of September, along with congressional testimony from Army General David Petraeus, the top U.S. commander in Iraq, and Ambassador Ryan Crocker. They're expected to describe significant security improvements and offer at least some promise for political reconciliation in Iraq. Mary Matalin, if the war in Iraq is going on in November of 2008, the way it is today, can the Republicans win?
Yes, because what we're seeing for the first time last week is that a majority of people now support and believe that the war can be won. This leaked negative aspect of the GAO report, which in no way measured the progress on the things that really matter. Are the Iraqis making a difference? Did not report on the Sunnis flipping, did not report on the provincial progress, did not report on the political reconciliation, did not report on the religious reconciliation. It does not comport with the critics of the president who say progress is being made, including frontrunners Hillary Rodham Clinton and Barack Obama. So people are very nuanced about this. They understand not only that it can be won, but that it must be won. They understand the consequences of defeat. Further, 2/3 of them trust and nobody more than the generals and Petraeus and Crocker come and give their report. That will be the response.
I hope the Republican hires you to make that argument in November of 2008.
I'll make that
because
happily.
let me tell you something. This Petraeus report is going to be the 8th, 9th, or 10th iteration of mission semi-accomplished. It's going to be the same thing General Westmoreland did just before the Tet Offensive when he came back and said there was light at the end of the tunnel. We are bogged down in a civil war in Iraq. The country wants to get out. I think you should run a Republican candidate who says, let's stay indefinitely.
Hillary doesn't think that. Obama doesn't think that.
Hillary says we need to get out of... Wait a minute. Hillary says we ought to get out of Iraq.
Sure she does.
She says we ought to get out of Iraq.
Bob Shrum, will the election of November 8th, presidential election, be a referendum on Iraq?
If the war is anywhere near what it is now, if Bush doesn't come to his senses and begin to withdraw troops, I think it will be a referendum on Iraq, and I don't think the Republicans have a chance.
I think far less than the Democrats suspect, which is the biggest error they're making. Politics is always changing. Next year will be different. There will be fewer troops there, and if the success in the Sunni areas continue, that's a game changer in Iraq.
Sure, Iraq is going to be, we have a huge presence there. General Petraeus told congressional people that he expected to be there for another 9 or 10 years. I don't think anybody in the United States bargained for a 15-year war in Iraq, and that's what they're being told now. There's no way that you're going to have that and have a war. We'll be in the 6th year of this war come March 17th of 2008. Sure, it's going to be a big thing. This is going to be a big deal on September the 10th or 15th. There's going to be a huge civics lessons for the nation, and this is thanks to the Democratic Congress that forced these benchmarks and forced this discussion. I think that's one of the enormous accomplishments of this Democratic Congress is to force this discussion that we're going to have in the United States, and we need to have it.
These benchmarks were designed to produce a negative report. They do not measure progress, and they measure apples and oranges. The congressionally mandated progress report for the president is to show progress, and the GAO is to show completion. So if an element of the benchmark has 3 parts to it and they've completed 2, the president says they've made progress, and the GAO says no, they've not made any progress whatsoever, despite the fact that they've completed 2/3 of what it requires to do that benchmark. This is all, and people know this out there.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes,
they want us to withdraw from Iraq. This is the relentless rhetoric of redemption that started after mission accomplished turned out not to be true. And General Petraeus may be an excellent general, but we all know the administration is going to put tremendous pressure on him. He's going to come in there, and the odds are overwhelming. He's going to say, the surge is working, I need more time. And James is right. They're talking about having to be there for 9 or 10 years.
No,
this country is not going to vote for a president. Petraeus has said 9 or 10 years. Country is not going to vote for a president who's going to keep us there for 9 or 10 years.
You keep talking like this because even
I will, Mary,
there's only 25% of the Democrats think that we should immediately withdraw.
I didn't say immediately withdraw. That was another. Now that's a perfect Cheneyism. I didn't say immediately withdraw. I said they thought we should withdraw over a year. to a year and a half.
Murphy?
Luckily for the country, the real debate, and Clinton's doing this to her credit, is moving not to what people will vote for, Bob, but what's right for the country. It's a cafeteria of bad choices. Petraeus is going to show us some progress. We ought to be adults.
We got to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the Democrats. We'll be right back after this.
She's trying to kill me.
Meet the Press is brought to you by ADM. ADM, resourceful by nature.